Biblical Shakers, hold on, because we are heading into a part of the Bible that records the kings of both Israel and Judah. Monday, we will begin with an introduction to the book of 2 Kings, followed by a chapter read on Tuesday through Friday, which covers chapters 1 through 4. The devotions will add an additional value to your reading. There is posted at the beginning of the week a timeline of kings for Israel and Judah. You will have to enlarge it, but hopefully it will aid you as we read through this book. 2 Kings records the collapse and captivity of the kingdoms of Israel. 12 Kings, chapters 1 through 17, and the kingdom of Judah. 16 Kings, chapters 18 through 25. Despite all the kings in both the north and the south, only 2, Hezekiah and Josiah, were called good. Spiritual decay led to political and social deterioration. Despite ministries of the prophets and the frequent chastenings God set, Israel and Judah rebelled against the Lord and had to be judged. Throughout this dark period, the Bible mentions 30 prophets who proclaimed God's message to the people and their leaders. 17 prophetic books at the end of the Old Testament give great insights into the time of 2 Kings. Biblical Shakers has covered many of them, and you can go to the drop-down on the blog spot on books covered and do some extra reading and studying if you like. The first and second chapter of 2 Kings describes that Elijah was a man of God and could do things that only our God gave him power to do. Elijah was guided by the Lord, glorified the Lord, trusted the Lord to care for him, and did the Lord's will. No wonder Elisha wanted to faithfully follow this prophet. When the time came for Elisha to take over, Elijah was taken up to heaven, and God granted Elisha's request for a double portion of Elijah's spirit. His main goal was not to be better or more powerful than Elijah, but to accomplish more for God. If our motives are pure, we don't have to be afraid to ask great things from God. I only wished their names were just a little different from each other. Moab's king rebelled against Israel. So Joram, Israel's king, and Jehoshaphat, Judah's king, teamed up and attacked Moab. In the parched and rugged desert of Edom, the armies ran out of water. But Elisha promised that both water and victory would soon come. How did it happen? This event could not even be told if it were not for God, our Father. You will enjoy chapter 3's history lesson. Elisha ministered to individuals and accepted the hospitality of friends. He was like Jesus Christ in that respect, while Elijah was more like John the Baptist, alone, rugged, a preacher to the nation. The final chapter of the week records 4 of God's miracles through Elijah. Number 1, providing money for a poverty-stricken widow, verses 1 through 7. Number 2, raising a dead boy to life, verses 32 through 37. Number 3, purifying poisonous food, verses 38 through 41. And providing food for 100 men, verses 42 through 44. These miracles remind us to give God what we have and let Him do what He wills. We're going to remain the course with the kings from Israel next week. Won't you please join us and read along, because Biblical Shakers makes reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you. And I pray that the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.